Hi, my name's Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and this is the new Elite Exalt. It's new out, came in my shop today, and I wanted to do a review on it, so show it to you, see how it is, and discuss it, and show you the new box. Well, there's no new box, it's the same as all other boxes. Some bow companies come out with new pretty boxes. Elite don't. They obviously don't value coming out with a pretty new box. It's the same box as all the other Elites. It has all the information need on the end, and that's quite good. Okay, so if you're looking for a new fancy box, you have to go to one of the other companies. Right. Exalt, 35 inches axle to axle, brace height of, I think, almost 7 inches. It's all on this little spec chart here. It's probably best for me to throw it up on the screen. It'd be really good if I could see almost 7-inch brace height, mass weight of 4.8, draw length from 24.5 to 30, and up to 90% let off, and a speed of 337 feet per second on smooth mods or 344 and performance mods. Okay, so Elite versus other bows. I'm probably going to sound like I'm doing a sell job for Elite with this video. I've never shot this bow, okay? I make the same on any bow I sell, and I sell all the bows from every manufacturer's in my shop, okay? What I like about Elites, and this is not about this bow or about bows in general, and any bow I like, is adjustability. I like the ability to adjust the draw length, okay? I like that. It makes my life easy. It makes the customer's life easy. Everyone's life's easy if you've got adjustable draw length. Okay, I can't stress it enough. I had a kid come in my shop the other day, and he said, I want to have a shot of some bows. And I'm going to say his draw length is around 25 inches, and he shoots 45 pound. And he goes, I want to shoot a Matthews. Well, that's a shame, because my Matthews is 70 pound. Now, you'd say, Stephen, you should have modules. And I'm like, well, I should have a module at, what, 25 inches at 50 pound? Never sell one. It's like, this bow, you can adjust the draw length, right? Now, one of the issues is going to be, and on most of the top of the line bows, is how much you can adjust the poundage. On this Elite, you're limited to 10 pounds. And why you're limited to 10 pounds is this here, the limb lock-in system. It's on both sides, so you have to loosen these screws off here. It only gives you 10 pounds. If you try and get more than that, the limb bolts will just you'll just go, whoa, I've got no tension here, and it's a bit scary feeling, right? I would like bows, top-end bows, to have more than 10 pounds of adjustment. I understand why you do it, but I'd like there to be more than 10. And it'd be simple on this bow. It'd be simple on all Elite bows. You just need to make this a little bit longer, and maybe have the Allen key a little bit longer. Then it'd be amazing, right? If you could have like 20 pounds of adjustment, even 15 pounds of adjustment, change the world, right? So I like draw length adjustment. First thing, the Elite, you've got all the draw length adjustment. You can change the size of the valley, because this is the little thing here where this here will touch the cable. So this is a cable stop. You can change the valley from being a big valley to a little valley. But Elite is even better than that, because you can fit a cable stop on here. Sorry, a limb stop. So the limb stop fits on one of these little holes here to change the feel of it. So if you don't like the feel of a cable stop, you can go to a limb stop to give you that rock solid wall. Now, I find the cable stop perfectly fine. Now, I listened to a review on another person doing a review on this, and he said, oh, look, I don't find the valleys as solid as other bows. You can make the Elite bow the most solid in the world by fitting the limb stop. So it's like, I don't know. That was just a bit depressing from my perspective. Now, this comes with the smooth mod, which I think is good, right? I use the smooth mod. I started with the performance mod. Performance mod is just going to be a little bit more aggressive to draw back, and it's going to give you a bit more speed, because it's a bit more aggressive to draw back. You don't get anything for nothing, right? The bigger draw length means the bow's going to be a little bit slower than a bow that's shorter. A bow which has got a bigger brace height here is going to be a bit more forgiving, because it's less twitchy, which means you're going to shoot the bow more accurately, more forgiving to shoot, right? It means aiming this bow, it's going to aim more steady on the target than a bow with, let's say, a 5-inch or 6-inch brace height. Okay. Now, Changing the draw length on this is easy. It's just a couple of screws here and you just rotate the module. There's on Elite's website, it tells you what letter is what draw length. It's really, really simple. It would be really good if Elite put that little chart either in the manual, in the Elite manual, or just threw it in the box with the bow. Because it means I wouldn't have to check up the website. That would make my life easy, it'd make the customer's life easy, and really it doesn't cost Elite anything to do it. And while it's great, it'd be really good if they did that. And they can do it because it's on this card. Like if you did it on this card, it would just make everyone's life easier. It's just probably something they didn't think of, right? But I think of it because I'm a shop owner, and all the time I've got a customer comes to my shop and his draw length's 26, and I've got to walk into the office, look up on a computer what letter I need, and then I set it to that letter, and then I test the customer to see if it should be shorter or longer. But this, changing the draw length on this bow is one of the easiest. Okay, I'm going to say adjusting a PSE is probably easier, adjusting on the draw length, but this is good because you've got so much adjustment in draw length and the valley in the feel. Now to change to performance modules, you've got to buy yourself another module, and they're about $170. And that's Australian dollars from the top of my head. Look, it's fairly expensive, but it's got that whole range, and I get it all the time from people who shoot Matthews. They've got to buy 5 or 6 modules. And it's like the modules on a Matthews, I'm going to say cost about $90 in Australia. And they're buying about 5 of them, so you're up to about $450. Look, buy a module if you want to buy a module. I'm not suggesting it. The thing that's really good with Elite, and I'm going to say Bowtech, two bows you can tune without the use of a bow press. You do not need a bow press, and you don't need anyone there. You can do it yourself. And it's simple. It's like so simple, it's seconds. The problem is you can stuff it up. Don't stuff it up. So to do it on the Elite, it's just this little screw here, you just move it left or right. So one of my friends, he's got a Hoyt, and he wants to get his broadheads to shoot the same as his field points. It's a real pain for him because he doesn't have a bow press. If he had an Elite, it'd be like 2 seconds. Literally 2 seconds. It's an amazing thing to witness where you just go like a little tweak and the grip just comes together. It's amazing. I like this limb locking thing. It's like fantastic. And I'm going from my memory. I don't think Bowtech's got it. They may have it. Right, but I don't think they do, and it's one of the factors I really liked about Elite. PSE don't have it. They used to have it because this could come loose. This just locks it all in place. It's simple. It works. It's a good thing, right? So for me, when it comes to adjusting bows, I put 2 bows on the top of the list as far as adjustability. One's Bowtech and the second's Elite. You can argue which one's better. But they both have got tunability, draw length adjustments, and with the Bowtech you can flip from performance to smooth. With the Elite you've got to buy the module. Okay, I prefer the Elite as far as the feel, because I feel like I've got more adjustability on the Valley. The feel, because I've got cable stops, limb stops, I just feel like I've got complete control over how I make this bow feel. And I like adjustability. Like, I don't do it much, I just set it and shoot. But I feel like I like the ability to be able to make adjustments. Okay, so I like all that. Now, you've got a roller cable slide here. This is really good, and it's fairly standard these days. Everyone's got that. Stops these cables moving backwards and forwards, which basically makes the bow a bit quieter. Makes the bow a little bit quieter, a little bit less vibration. It's a good thing. With the Elite, you can move this left in and out here. It's very simple. Simple is great. I love simple, right? Okay, so that's all been done before. Elite's had that on their bows for a few years now. And I really appreciate it because I come from the period where Elite had modules and it was a nightmare to adjust peeps. It was just a nightmare to work on the bow, right? Which I would have said in the videos. Back on the bows before Elite had the rotating modules. It was almost not worth selling because there was so much work. And this is just like, you sell an Elite and you're like, You're going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. There's just going to be happiness everywhere. All right. So, okay. The Exalt. Elite had the Remedy, which was 34 inches axle to axle, and I shot all the Elites. I shot the Envision, the Remedy, and the Verdict, and the Results, and I shot about the same scores with them all. They dropped the Remedy, and they've come out with this at 35 inches. Now, this is the Envision, which I really liked. I'm going to hold them side by side so you can see the difference. It's not great, right? The difference is not great. One's 31 and one's 35. The difference between 31 and 35, well, a hunter's going to say, well, this is more compact for the bush. But really the difference is how far the peep is away from your eye. That's the difference. I shoot the same scores with them all. I just find the longer axle bows, the peep's a little bit closer to my eye, and it feels a little bit more comfortable. Because on the shorter bow, because the peep's further away from my eye, I need a bigger peep. When the peep's closer to my eye, I can go for a smaller peep and it just feels more comfortable. Okay, so I love the Envision. It's 31 inches. I really, really like it, right? However, it's 31 inches and I just find it more comfortable when the peep's close to my eyes. This is my Verdict. It's the bow I shoot currently. So let's hold them up alongside of one another. You can see there's not a lot of difference between 35 and I think it's 38 or 37 for the Verdict. The weight's almost the same. Before doing this video, I was like, well, where's the center of this bow? I'm going to explain that a little bit. If they put the center of the grip, the bow's meant to aim better. The problem is the arrow's then not in the center. So some companies have different cam sizes, different for top and bottom. Some companies have different cams for top and bottom, hence the hybrid cam or the solo cam. Right, so Elite has... So what Elite do is they put the center kind of like there is the center. So the arrow's a little bit high, so they're trying to cope for the best of both worlds. And look, I think it works. I've shot scores with all bows and I shoot really well with my Verdict. I'm going to wish I could say I shoot better with the Verdict than I do other bows. And I don't. I really don't. But I feel like I could. I feel like if I practice more, I'd shoot better scores with it. I feel like the bow aims really, really well. Okay? Right, so what's changed with the Exalt? Now, you've probably seen a video on other people, but... And I might miss bits, right? So, Elite has put a Piccadilly mount on the front. Really, like, when I say clever, look, it doesn't really worry me. I'm not a Piccadilly guy. I don't really care, but there's lots of people who do care. Now, when PSE fitted this little thing bolt on onto the front of the bow, it was so annoying to me because to fit a normal sight like this to the bow, it means I had to detach it, which means I just put it in the box, which means I've got a good chance of losing it. What Elite did is they made one side so it was flat with the bow, so that way I can leave it on there, so if you fit a normal sight, you don't have to take it off. They molded this into the riser, so you can still take it off, but it makes no sense to take it off. Very, very clever. Simple and clever. Elite also fitted Piccadilly mounts to these limbs. Now they're part of the system here, which I really like. It's not that I feel like they've got anything for them yet, but I feel like if Elite produce a bow stand for this Piccadilly mount, I feel like it'll be like a Matthews on steroids, because it'll have all the bits that Matthews don't have. It'll be cheaper. It'll be more reliable, and I laugh when I say that. It'll be more reliable, and it's just a smarter bow, right? And this will be like better than what Matthews has got, because the Matthews bow stand is really, really cool where it clips down the bottom. So I feel like that's really clever. They've got the ability to fit their rear stabilizer system there, or there. I feel like there was two, or there. They've got two stabilizer mounts there or there. That's good. Two side mounts there and there. Now, Matthews Elite has machined out this here where the sights are more than the Verdict. I like the machining down here. I think this looks nice. I think this looks really clean. The Elite paintwork is really, really good. Okay, I've had no issues. Warranty wise, I'm going to talk about warranty on Elite. I've had no issues. I love having no issues, because if I have no issues, customers have no issues, then we're happy. Okay, it makes my life easy. When you have warranties as a shop, it's just a nightmare. It's just like I've got to wait for the manufacturer to make the parts or send the parts, or sometimes they wait for the shipments. Look, it's pretty good. All right, so I have had no issues with I have had no limb failures. The only issue I have is when people dry fire the boat. Then you got to wait for a new set of cams to come in, and sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't. Okay, so the strings on Elite are very good. They're winner's choice, so you have no peep rotation. So if people want to fit a normal peep to their Elite bows, there's no issues. Love that. Makes my life simple. Makes my life happy. The string quality. I just did a thing on the Matthews strings, and they were like all bumpy and lumpy, and these strings are nice. I've got no complaints. They're nice. My only thing I'd say with Elite, so the Elite standard strings are always grey. It'd be nice if you had an orange Exalt to have orange strings. It's a little thing, but it'd be nice. But this is where we're up to. This grip feels like all Elite grips. So if you feel an Elite grip, this is what this feels like. It feels like an Elite grip. The balance is good. It just sits there. I like the Elite grips. It's my favorite grip. Okay, so it's one of the real reasons I probably I shoot an Elite. The grip, I'm a big fan. I haven't shot this bow before. We're going to shoot through a chronograph and see what speed we get. This is a gold tip velocity, weighs 327 grains. This bow should be set at 29 inches. And should be set on 60 pounds. Okay. It's always scary the first time drawing back a bow. Right, so to start off with, it's very firm to start with. I'm not sure why it's any different to my Verdict. Maybe it's in my head. And maybe as I start to shoot, it'll feel different. My Verdict, I can shoot all the time at 60 pounds and I have no issues. Just dropping in the valley and it lumps into the valley. That's amazing. It's so good. That was a fast arrow. Unfortunately, the chronograph didn't register a speed. So good. There's nothing. There's no vibration. There's nothing. The bow just move. Right, this is one of my target arrows. Let's see if we get a speed this time. I'm not getting speeds, it's too overcalfed. But it drops into a 90% let off. I shoot recurve at 50 pounds, right? So I don't like the high let off. So for me, I'd move these stops forward so it's not so big a valley. I find the Elite aims really, really well. As far as my sight pin doesn't move around, I don't get any of this I get with other bows. I get a lot of this with the shorter brace height bows, right? So you're aiming and you're getting that type of feeling. I find Elite bows just aim really, really well. I like the draw cycle. It's got the smooth mods, so that's what I would shoot. Feels really, really comfortable. Let's take it back to 18 and we'll shoot some groups and see how it goes. Okay, so I'm back at 18. One arrow went in the 10, so it was a high 9, so I just moved my sight up a little bit and we're going to give it a go. So with the Elite, I find the bow aims really well, and I found that with all the Elites I've shot. I couldn't pick any difference between them.